Ever dreamed of being a hero, even when everyone told you it was impossible? That's the story of Izuku Midoriya. In a world where 80% of the population is born with superpowers, or quirks, Midoriya was one of the unlucky few born completely ordinary. His biggest dream? To be just like his idol, the world's #1 hero, All Might, the symbol of peace. But how can you be a hero without a single power to your name? Most people would give up, but not Midoriya. He channeled his passion into a different kind of strength, his mind. He obsessively studied heroes, filling notebook after notebook with detailed analyses of their powers, strategies, and weaknesses. He believed that knowledge was its own kind of power, and he was determined to be ready, even if he didn't know for what. He held onto a flicker of hope that one day his chance would come. That chance arrived in a moment of sheer terror. During a surprise villain attack, Midoriya's childhood friend and rival, Katsuki Bakugo, was caught in the clutches of a sludge monster. Heroes were on the scene, but they were hesitant, unable to find an opening. Seeing his friend suffocating, Midoriya didn't think, he acted. Without a second thought for his own safety, this quirkless boy rushed headfirst into danger, driven by a pure, instinctual need to save someone. His legs just moved on their own. This act of selfless bravery, though reckless, didn't go unnoticed. Watching from the sidelines was none other than All Might himself. In that moment, he didn't see a powerless kid. He saw the heart of a true hero. This encounter would change Midoriya's life forever. All Might revealed a secret he had guarded for years. His legendary quirk, One for All, wasn't something he was born with. It was a sacred torch, a power passed down from one generation of heroes to the next, accumulating strength with each wielder. And now, All Might had found his successor. He chose Midoriya to inherit this incredible power, seeing in him the courage and spirit that defined heroism. Suddenly, the boy who had nothing was entrusted with everything. The weight of a legacy that stretched back through generations of heroes now rested on his shoulders. But receiving the power was just the beginning. The real test was yet to come. Training to wield One for All was brutal. Midoriya's body, unaccustomed to such immense power, couldn't handle the strain. Every time he used it, the force would shatter his bones and tear his muscles. He faced failure after failure, his body breaking under the immense pressure. But this is where his years of analysis paid off. He wasn't just a vessel for power, he was a strategist. He started to think, not just punch. Instead of using One for All at 100% and destroying himself, he learned to channel a small fraction of it throughout his entire body, a technique he called full cowling. He realized that true heroism wasn't about overwhelming strength. It was about control, precision, and most importantly, protecting others without destroying yourself in the process. He enrolled in UA High School, the most prestigious hero academy in the world, ready to learn alongside the best and brightest of his generation. There, he wasn't just another student, he was a hero in the making, learning that power meant nothing without the wisdom to use it correctly. At UA High, Midoriya was no longer the lone dreamer. He found himself surrounded by classmates with incredible and diverse quirks. He quickly formed a tight-knit friendship with the kind-hearted Ochako Uraraka and the disciplined Tenya Ida. These bonds became his support system, a source of strength that had nothing to do with superpowers. He also had to navigate his explosive rivalry with Bakugo, whose fiery ambition and raw talent constantly pushed Midoriya to grow stronger. The lessons at UA went far beyond the classroom. The students were thrown into intense training exercises, simulated rescue missions, and high-stakes competitions. In every challenge, Midoriya learned that being a hero wasn't a solo act. It was about teamwork, trust, and making difficult moral choices under pressure. He combined his sharp intellect with his growing control over One for All, finding creative ways to overcome obstacles and protect his friends. His courage was contagious, inspiring his classmates and even starting to chip away at Bakugo's hardened exterior, slowly building a foundation of mutual respect. But the safety of the school walls couldn't last forever. Real danger was brewing. Sinister villain organizations began to emerge from the shadows, threatening the very fabric of their hero society. Midoriya and his friends were thrust into life-or-death battles far sooner than anyone expected. These weren't simulations anymore. The stakes were real, and failure had dire consequences. Each encounter tested his limits, pushing his bravery, his intelligence, and his moral compass to the breaking point. Yet, with every battle he survived, he grew stronger, reinforcing the lesson that a hero's true strength lies not in their quirk, but in their heart and their unwavering will to protect others. Through relentless perseverance, Midoriya's mastery of one for all evolved. He wasn't just controlling the power anymore, he was innovating. He developed new techniques, like the precise air pressure attacks of his shoot style, which allowed him to fight effectively without shattering his own limbs. He also began to uncover the history of his quirk, connecting with the spirits of the previous wielders who lived within it. He learned that he hadn't just inherited their strength, but also their wisdom, their experiences, and their collective will. The legacy he carried was a profound responsibility, a commitment to justice built on the sacrifices of those who came before him. As Midoriya matured, his relationships deepened. He became a pillar of support for his friends, helping Shoto Todoroki confront his family's dark past and embrace his full potential. He was there to encourage Uraraka when she doubted her own motivations for being a hero. And, amazingly, he and Bakugo started to transform their toxic rivalry into a powerful partnership, working side by side to overcome their shared challenges. Midoriya understood that these bonds of trust and friendship were just as critical to being a hero as any superpower. A hero doesn't stand alone. They stand with others. The ultimate test arrived when the League of Villains launched an all-out war on society. The scale of the assault was overwhelming, pushing heroes to their absolute limit. In the heart of the chaos, Midoriya, Bakugo, Todoroki, and their classmates stood on the front lines, facing down impossible odds. It was the culmination of everything they had learned. Midoriya utilized every ounce of his training, his strategic mind, his precise control of one for all, and the unbreakable teamwork forged with his friends as he came face to face with the villain leader, all for one. In this final, epic confrontation, it wasn't brute strength that would decide the fate of the world. It was intelligence, courage, and a heart full of hope. In the aftermath of the great battle, society hailed Midoriya and his friends as the next generation of great heroes. Looking back, Midoriya reflected on his incredible journey. He had started as a powerless, timid boy who could only dream of being a hero. Now, he stood as a symbol of hope in his own right. He finally understood that greatness wasn't something you inherit. It's something you earn through sacrifice, empathy, and the sheer determination to never give up. The world's greatest hero had passed on his legacy, and Midoriya now carried it forward with humility, strength, and an unshakable commitment to justice for all. With his friends by his side, Izuku Midoriya steps into an uncertain future, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. He knows the path of a hero is paved with danger and hardship, but he has learned the most important lesson of all. True heroism comes from the courage to act, the heart to care, and the will to always keep moving forward. Plus, Ultra. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Deku's journey, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. Let us know your favorite Midoriya moment in the comments below.